Welcome to On the Clock Football on ESPN Radio. I am Gabe Glassman alongside my partner Chris Barblin. Today we have a full split of rising NFL news around the league. If you want to call on any of these topics, call 954-849-7654. Yet again, that's 954-849-7654. Our first topic is which team will surprise us in a good and bad way this year. Chris, what team is going to surprise you in a bad way this next year?
I'm going to take a playoff team from last year. I'm going to go with the Detroit Lions here. Yes, they have a great quarterback in Matthew Stafford, but they have no running game. The receiving corps is outside of Golden Tate. They don't have much offense. And they did not do anything to address that bad defense last year. So they don't have a defense. And not to mention they're in the same division as Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, so they're not going to win the division. And also teams rising like Tampa, who's better than them, and they're going to beat them next year, beat them for playoff spots. Detroit, they just didn't add. The teams made additions last year in the offseason. They just didn't. They don't have defense. They don't have a great running game. Their line's bad. Their offensive line's bad. Stafford's been playing hurt. And Matthew Stafford, the team last year, if you look at their games, they could have easily been a 5-11, 6-10 team if Stafford had not been clutch in those games. So they got lucky some last year. I'm sorry, they blinked the playoffs. They're not going to be back next year.
Well, the team that's going to surprise me in a good way is the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens, I'm going with them on a more offensive side, more because of their star quarterback, Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco had 4,317 yards and a 6.4 average on each play. He had 20 touchdowns, and the average yards per game is 269.8. The Ravens did go 8-8 last year, which is 500. So I think they're going to go 10-6 this year with their upcoming schedule. Let's go to our next topic. Chris, who do you think is going to be the Rookie of the Year this year?
I'm going to go with the Stanford star, Christian McCaffrey. Now, here's why. I think Leonard Fournette is a running back and it takes some time to develop. I think I'm going to go Ross first year. Dalvin Cook's good. He could be as good as McCaffrey, but you have to split carries with Latavius Murray. I think McCaffrey beats Jonathan Stewart for the job. He's a dual threat back. He's going to be a huge addition to Cam Newton. I think I'm having great rushing stats. I think I'm having pretty good receiving stats too. And hey, he may return a touchdown or two because he's a great returner.
Well, I believe that the former FSU Seminole running back Dalvin Cook going to the Minnesota Vikings will be the Rookie of the Year. I mean, you got to take a look at his stats. Over 1,700 yards, 19 touchdowns. He had 935 receiving yards with an average of 11.8 yards per attempt. This guy is speedy. He can run the ball day in, day out. Let's go to our last topic. Who do you think is gonna make it in the playoffs, AFC wise?
When it comes to AFC, my number one seed, I have New England beating out Oakland. They have a great team. They've added Brandon Cooks, they had Quinn Ewing on defense. I think they win that division. And the West, this year Oakland takes it. They would have won the division last year if Derek Carr didn't hurt. I think Derek Carr is the MVP next year. I think he's great. I think he'll compete for Matt Ryan for the MVP award. I think they have talent on offense. They have talent on defense. They fix their secondary. Also, I think Denver aggressive, so I'm going to see them having more success in that division. I think they're a 2 seed. And for the 3 seed, I'm going with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I feel like the Ravens and Bengals are just average. The Browns are the worst team in the league. They might be the Jets, but they're still terrible. They got Big Ben, they got Bell, they got Brown, they have top 5 offense. Defensively, they're getting there. But that team overall, I think they're just a class of the AFC North. In the South, I really thought about this one. But if you think about it, the Houston Texans are the most complete team. They got Deshaun Watson at quarterback now. They have the best defense in the league, best defensive player, DeAndre Hopkins, Lamar Miller. I see them winning the division. And for the West, the Chiefs comfortably make it as a wild card. I think they're better than the AFC South champ, but being in the same division as Oakland. I think Alex Smith limits them, but he's reliable. He'll be good. Defensively, they're phenomenal with Eric Berry. They did lose on Terry Poe. And you go to the second wild card. I actually have the Indianapolis Colts.
We have a caller. We have Max Ziff from Boca Raton. Max, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
We're doing amazing. Why did you call in today?
Well, I'm a huge Dolphins fan. Obviously, the Patriots in that division. But if there's one team to upset and take the division, who would it be? The Jets or the Dolphins? Unbiased.
Well, obviously I am a Miami Dolphins fan myself. I've been going to the game for 9 years now. Chris, who do you if the New England Patriots were cut out of the division, who do you think would make the #1 seed? The Miami Dolphins, the Buffalo Bills, or the New York Jets?
Who has the best chance of? No, easily Miami. The Jets and Bills aren't there yet. The Dolphins, they have a good quarterback. They have a phenomenal running back, phenomenal receiver. Their defense is, I think their defense is not getting the respect they deserve. They have a great pass rush. They have Rashad Jones coming back. They have good defense. That team, Miami's the only team this year. I'll say Brady implodes, has a rough year. Had what Manning had in 2015. The only team that can challenge him for that division is the Miami Dolphins.
Well, I also think the Miami Dolphins because the New York Jets are completely out of my eyes for me. The New York Jets have not been performing well. The Buffalo Bills are very close, and I think that there's going to be a war between the Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills. Definitely a very close game, but the Miami Dolphins will just edge it out, and also will most likely make the wild card. They have a great. Right now we have Rashad Jones coming back from playing only less than 8 games. With a season-ending, very ferocious arm injury, and with a lot of other players coming off of the benches, I think the Miami Dolphins have a great chance this year.
All right, guys, that's what I love to hear.
Fins up, baby. Have a great day. All right, now we're going to my pick for the AFC. Obviously, I have to pick New England. New England, the defending champions of the Super Bowl, will make it at least 11-5 this year. For the AFC North, Pittsburgh Steelers with Ben Roethlisberger, Antonio Brown, Lamar Miller, the best offensive trio in their division, in my opinion, will definitely make it. Will definitely make it over Baltimore, Cincinnati, and Cleveland. In the AFC South, Houston Texans with the new DeAndre Hopkins and many other players. Definitely defensive wise, J.J. Watt will definitely be a star. And for the AFC West, Denver Broncos. Even though we don't have Peyton Manning, and they just lost one of their greatest wide receivers, they still have Von Miller, and Von Miller is a beast. For the wild card, definitely for the first seed, for the Oakland Raiders. Oakland Raiders are a very, very, very talented team who have just recently moved to Las Vegas, effective in 2018. The second seed, I'm going with the Miami Dolphins. Going to be very, very, very close with Kansas City. Maybe going down to the wire. Kansas City is also very, very talented team. But Miami Dolphins, their offensive defense just stacks it for you. And that's all the time we have today on the Clock Football on ESPN Radio. For my partner Chris Farberlin, I'm Gabe Glassman. Have a great day.